Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having a fantastic day. We're taking a very quick look here at Solana, see what's going on. We're going to double check some back and liquidation data first and kind of jump into the charts. We are breaking free from our ascending broadening wedge pattern, which effectively is bearish. So we'll talk about that here in a minute. But when we look at liquidation, we can see more incentive for whales as high leverage longs continue to pile up. We can see 134 to 135 as a close approximate for that local area of liquidation. As you can see, folks, every time these late longs get into the market, the price action continues to sweep those areas. It happens to the upside too, don't get me wrong. It's just that we were in an overextended descending type of trend right now, and it's just super sensible to presume the price will continue lower until it bottoms out. 136 is that tentative bottom though, so I do kind of side with these late longs and recognize that we're probably in good shape. You just got to recognize Bitcoin has distinct probabilities of potentially pulling back further. Its macro structure, the power of three here potential, and just overall how manipulation has been a pretty much a guiding light in the trading market here in the last couple of months. There's a distinct probability we're going to see that level retested, like the 84 to 85K range. And it's not going to kill altcoins. In fact, Solana is holding pretty strong at its bottom. It's just you gotta understand that those things are present. So just please recognize that. We can also see liquidation delta has shifted. More people are shorting versus taking longs in the market right now. And when we look at open interest, we can see that locally we are at 136. That's that open interest area for the most part here, close to the price. But 145 and 129 are the upper and lower ranges there. So we're kind of in the middle of a range, and the simple way to understand it here is that we lose 136. 129 to 130 would be the next logical area of retracement. Okay, so just know that exists, and that puts us right down here as a rough estimate. 130 is like right down here. So seeing one more leg down to honor this descending trend just makes sense considering how I feel Bitcoin is behaving right now. I've been wrong in the past though, folks, so don't overanalyze or roll your eyes too much. The market is a bit of a there's no real nice way to put it. The market kind of sucks sometimes, and lately it has been kind of sucky. We'll just put it that way. Either way you look at it, we can see we're over the 20-day SMA, 50-day SMA is above the price action. We have not broken bullish yet. It is very nice, however, that we are above the local high. So keep this in mind here. Previous highs typically work as new lows, right? So we're right there. 136 should be that pivot point. But if not, just be prepared for a little bit of a leg down to sweep those late longs and to essentially, give Bitcoin one more pullback before it takes off. I'm really looking forward to like an $84,000 to $85,000 price point for Bitcoin so we can take a long off that descending trend line and continue higher up. Between now and then, though, the macro structure for Bitcoin, it's looking a little dicey right now. And the same thing could be said here for Solana. We're not over 50 on the RSI. We keep jumping above and below it. That basically means we're like at an impasse right now. We're not quite sure where we're going to go next. The 4-hour time frame, there's a lot of confluence at the current price point, which is both good and bad. In other words, it's a typical Bollinger Band type of compression situation here, where while we're not like in a defining range right now, we can see within the last 24 hours that 140 is a high, 137 is a low, and we're kind of stuck in this little stuck on stupid is the best way to describe it. And the reason why that's relevant is because we got these three important moving averages all kind of hanging out right where the price is at. So it's you could argue it's a support, but it's also resistance too, depending on how you look at it. And when you see that, that's mostly an indecisive scenario. So it really just reinforces that you shouldn't be taking a trade because you're kind of forcing it. It's really what it boils down to. So when I see the money flow index below the RSI and the RSI kind of hanging out at 50, and we're below that SMA, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me to take a long right now. But once more, trend lines are much more successful lately than a lot of these little indicators of moving averages, etc. So it is safe to presume that the previous high is working as a new low, and this is the tentative bottom. So take that how you will, but that's essentially the concept there. We take a look at Ichimoku Cloud though. This is an hourly confirming factor, letting us know that hey, we're we're below our local trend line here. You can kind of see that pretty clear, a bearish backtest of that local trend, and then more importantly, just the overall situation here. We're right there at the point of control. We're below the cloud, lagging spans free and clear, or just soon to intersect rather. These are all signs of letting us know that we're shifting momentum from being a bullish convergence to a bearish type of divergence. So just a lot of little cracks in the glass, if you will, that lead me to believe we're more statistically likely to see a little bit more downside before we recover here at this point. But once more, as per usual, you got to take this with a grain of salt. We'll see here soon, obviously, what direction is established. But for the moment, I would just say, no trade is the best trade. That's usually the best way to go. Try not to just FOMO in and, go take this to the moon, because if anybody's telling you to do that, I think they're just a babbling idiot. So just my thoughts. I don't know who says that or why they would want to say that, but we don't see a ton of, indications minus this local support range incentivizing us all to take a long position. Okay. All right, I hope that makes sense. I would recommend watching my Bitcoin analysis if you're want to get a little more in the know. I typically dive deeper into that, and that's going to help you understand how Bitcoin and Solana are working together or separately. Right now, they're fairly well aligned, and it's not really a great thing. All right, folks, thanks again so much for your time. Be sure to join us over on Twitter, Telegram, and Discord if you haven't already. Obviously, make sure you take advantage of this deposit bonus collective prize pool from Bitunix. Phenomenal exchange, no KYC or VPN required. If you've used my link to register before, this is automatically an eligible benefit for you. Just click the link below to make sure you're registered for that. Hope you all have a good one, though. Thanks again for your time. We'll see you soon. Take care.